Okay, welcome to Coffee with Dew. This is going to be a new little staple show that we kind of came up with. Every Sunday, probably half an hour, give out Justin's best plays, probably turf races, at the
Mhm.
at the best tracks every Sunday. And we also have our regular content on Saturdays and sometimes mixed in on a Friday night or something. Different handicappers coming on from the Lone Speed Text group. But on Sundays, Coffee with Dew. And
Coffee with you.
Justin, thanks for coming in.
What's up, buddy?
And yeah, I mean, Lady J ran last night and had a trouble trip. We had to get a C rider at Evangeline. So
Uh,
I stayed on for that one. We were expecting her to win. She ran a close third.
she
two
get
weeks.
was she in for a claim tag?
No, it was an open allowance. We were using it as a like kind of like a prep race for a overnight stake out there, but I don't
Mhm.
think we're gonna go back out there. And then I just looked. Dornock got a 101 buyer speed figure for the Belmont.
Yep, I saw that. Do you think I mean, obviously we overlooked the horse, but when you went back and looked at Dornock, do you think we missed something there, or?
You know, I'm part of a Facebook group, Live and Breathe Horse Racing or something like that. And
Mhm.
somebody on there had an in-depth analysis on Dornock. I have to go back and look at it and picked it. So I didn't like the way Dornock came home in one of those wins at Gulfstream. And I
Mhm.
just kind of wrote him off like I did. Was it Authentic or was it one of the other Bafferts? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I visually I wasn't impressed with him, and I should have probably given him a longer look.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I mean, I thought my pick, the Wine Steward, looked good at about the quarter pole, maybe the 3/8, started making a move, and I'm like, oh, this could get interesting. And then the horse just flattened out. I said right before the race, as they were loading, gun to my head, I'd take Mind Frame, and I think Mind Frame, you could say, was the right horse. Just kind of got a little green in the stretch,
Right.
um, you know. But whatever, you live to fight another day, right?
Yeah. Triple Crown's over. We're gonna look over to summer racing, some contest play. I know you're going on a cruise at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at the Hawthorne Invitation with like Frank and Dylan and those guys. The Caspers, I believe, will be in there. I don't think Rich is going or Schraff,
I don't think so either.
and I don't think my brother Marco is going to make it either. But some of us will. All right, so let's dive into some Sunday action. Where
Yeah,
did you want to go first? I'll pull up the PPs.
yeah. So I've got. There are two horses that I've picked out today. It's still early in the day. We don't even have scratches out most places. I think we have a first run of early scratches at Churchill. So let's go.
Churchill, okay.
Yeah, let's go to um, the fifth race at Churchill, and I've got a. I'm gonna play this race somehow, some way, and then we're gonna play a double into the next race. So this is race 6 is maiden special weight 3-year-olds and up fillies mile on the turf. They're on the turf today at Churchill, and there are two in here, both of which are 10-1 on the morning line. That I think are horses you need to focus on, and I think we're probably going to get 10-1 or thereabouts on both, because there are others in here that look like they will get support, and it's going to be a full 12 horse field, I think, with 4 also eligible. So we should get a good price. The first horse that I noticed and looked at pretty closely was the 11. I believe it's pronounced Raconteuse. Raconteuse, if we just focus on the 3 race, we can really focus on the second career start too, which was a mile at Ellis Park last year as a 2-year-old. But in the March 13th race, came up against a horse named Whiskey Decision, who we discussed on Coffee with Dew. I think it was Derby week. I predicted this one would be a future stakes winner, and she romped at 9.
That's right.
Yeah, by 5 lengths that day at Churchill. Raconteuse squared up against her in the Turfway race. Lost by 10, but 6 of those were whiskey decision. And then in the Keeneland race, ran a good one, came up what kind of became a semi-key race. The race won by Ready for Shirl, who was a first-time starter. A race that produced 2 next out winners, the runner-up Pinup Betty and the third place horse Spaladay. Pinup Betty has come back to win twice since that day, and Racontus ran pretty well. Again,
Well, Pinup Betty won a grade 3.
Yeah, exactly. And Racontus ran second to Pinup Betty in the next race, which was her most recent start. So she's been keeping good company. Obviously, the post here today is problematic. Breaking from post 11, going only a mile at Churchill, that turn comes up kind of quick. So the rider is going to have to work out a trip, and that's not going to be easy. But if we're getting 10-1 on a horse that has been keeping the company that Racontus has been keeping, then I'm willing to take a chance there. And then the other horse that I like is the 8 Shore War, who 2 prior turf starts, both were sprinting, both at 5.5 at Keeneland. Finished third in both by 4 and change lengths in both.
Mm-hmm.
So, you and then had another try at 5.5 in an off the turf race at Churchill, again finishing third. To me, horses that run this way in turf sprints, beating most of the field, you want to pay attention to them when they're stretching out. And this one is stretching out on turf for the first time. Did get 2 turns on the synthetic at Gulfstream. And just didn't run a step, but then had some time off. So maybe something didn't go well that day. I think the 8 is going to appreciate longer distance. So I'm probably going to end up playing whichever of the 8 or the 11 is a bigger price to win, using both in the double into race 6, where I think number 1, Single Dot Yacht, is an interesting play, running at a 1 1/8 for the first time. Is cutting back from 1 3/16, but has run at a mile and a 1 1/16, and to me looks like a horse that is going to appreciate the longer distances. So the 2 1/16 races at Keeneland in Single Dot Yacht's past performances, those 1 1/16, they have that short stretch, that close finish line.
Yeah.
He managed to win, which in his 2-turn debut. So that win last October was the first time the horse had gone 2 full turns, had kind of the 1.5 turn efforts at Ellis Park, one of which was from post 1, which very well is a tough post, breaking from that rail.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. So I think this is a true, mile and 1/8 type horse, and the races at a 1 1/16 are solid or excusable. The 4-year-old debut was coming off the layoff, again the short stretch, and then came back at a 1 3/16 at Churchill, and now we have a little bit of a cutback. So that was a slow pace that day. 49 and change for the half, 113, almost 114 for 6 furlongs, and I just think with a little bit of speed in here and a little bit of pace, which we could get with the presence of number 8, Unlimited Potential. I think Tyler on the 7, Lipsay Bliss, has shown a little bit of ability to be forward in the past, and the 2, Wrecker Point, Timeform has that one up a little bit close. So we're going to get a rail trip on the 1, Single Dot Yacht. I think the distance is the right distance, and the price is going to be right, 8-1 on the morning line. So that's the play for me at Churchill. In the 5th, the 8 and 11 to start the double into the 1.
All right, so I have it on our screen, so everybody make a note of that. 8 and the 11, you guys can bet those, do exactas, throw them your trifectas. The bet for Justin Dew is going to be the double here. He's going to use both those horses, and you set a win bet with the largest.
I'm going to play all these horses to win. I'm not sure if it'll be the 8 or the 11. We'll see what the tote board says. I probably would lean to the 8 a little bit, just because that post is not easy at Churchill. And why? I mean, the more and more I watch turf racing, I mean, you and I talk about it every day. Those wide trips just absolutely kill you.
Okay, yeah, you're right. And
I heard this yesterday too. So
yeah, I did. So that's good. Good plays there. So we got some nice Churchill action. When is post time for these races? Let's take a peek. These are going to be earlier in the day today.
I didn't look on that, but
around race 5 goes off at 1:45 Central Time,
2:45
Eastern Time.
Right. Okay, good. So
you guys are out west or in a different country, you guys figure it out. Well, west, we know what time that'll be, but all right. So
I've got one more play. It's at Santa Anita. It's later in the day. It's their 7th race.
All right. Let me pull up Santa Anita.
7:13 p.m. Eastern Time. This is 1.25 miles on the grass. They actually break from the downhill turf course.
Yes, they do.
We've got an 8-horse field of optional claimers, non-winners of 2 other than. So these are good horses. You'll see a number of them have prior stakes experience. The way I see this race unfolding, I think the 3, Dean Martini, and the 6, Man Among Men, are both going to try to be forwardly placed. I don't think we're going to be looking at a torrid early pace. But I think number 1, Carmelita's Man, comes out of a state-bred stakes race, and the prior starts at this level, sort of the allowance, the optional 80,000, non-winners of 2 other than. They've been solid performances for him, and they haven't been at this distance. This is the horse's first time going 1.25 miles. And some of the recent 1 1/8 races have been pretty solid. Probably needed the stakes race. I watched the replay. That winner of the May 25th race, Kings River Knight, went wire to wire. The runner-up was also up close early.
Nice horse.
Yeah, those are solid race horses. And Carmelita's Man was just, I think, a little bit too far back at 1 mile through, 1/2 and 48 and 2/5 seconds. Tough to make up ground at 1 mile at Santa Anita with those fractions.
Absolutely.
And broke from post 6, was kind of between horses for a big amount of the race, which I don't like. And unless the rider does something incredibly stupid, you're going to be looking at a ground-saving trip. And according to time form, this one is going to be coming home, pretty quickly. So if we can save the ground, and if those 2 horses kind of go at it a little bit and run each other into the ground, I think we've got a really good shot at a nice price. Now, if Carmelita's Man were to go off at, say, 7-2, 4-1, then I'm not using the horse, because I think this race is full of horses that are probably a little bit better, but not a lot better. I mean, if you look through the past performances for the the optional 80K races at the N2X level, you're going to see many of them have been running at this level or lower. And we don't have any world beaters in here. If there was a horse with routine stakes experience and had been running well in those stakes races, then you might say, well, I'm not sure if I want. Maltese Falcon, for instance, is obvious, but I think Carmelita's Man is going to be ahead of Maltese Falcon, and should get the jump on that horse. Dean Martini could definitely wire this field if he's allowed to get out there loose early. If nobody goes, Crosby's Beach is probably going to be forwardly placed. I don't think Calm Sea is going to be able to get the lead against this bunch, and I think that's what this one wants. Rispoli, you get Carl Frey on the 5 home speed.
Fry.
Yep, Carl Fry. That's right, my bad. And Rispoli chooses Man Among Men for Richard Mandela, but that one's kind of jumping up in class. So, I think the 7's going to be too far back, and the 8 Hudson Ridge, who was a little bit interesting actually, but is coming off a layoff, and for Baffert might need a race, but that one at a price is interesting too. So for me, it's going to be the one Carmelita's Man, just hoping that the distance is what he wants, and that we can save some ground and get a good trip. So that's the play for me at Santa Anita.
I like this horse. It's got some numbers. It's paired a couple of 92s and 93 last year. The claim by Peter Miller's been really good. Is that Calm Sea? I have to look. No, Crosby Beach. That one is going to have to rate today, I would imagine. It might get in a speed duel. So you're right that the pace is going to be a little bit quicker today. I think the 4 will be the one to beat, but absolutely, your pick here is live at 8-1. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's it. I looked, Saratoga is off the turf today. I'm pretty sure that it's off for the entire card. I think the whole card is off the turf.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then I looked at Gulfstream. Let me take one more peek at Gulfstream, because I did flip through
Go ahead.
the entire card, and I just don't think I found anything that was all that interesting. There's the second race of the day. You've got some decent horses. I don't think Mr. Crowley is named after your cousin Dave.
No. Are you looking at the second race?
Yeah, the second race. That's where I noticed that Drayden Van Dyke apparently has moved his tack to Gulfstream and has won with 3 of his first 5 starts after he had only won 2 of 57 all year out in California. He's now won 3 of 5.
I saw that.
Riding for Saffie Joseph. 5-1 on the morning line on that horse. Running for a $35,000 tag. After facing, you have to say, facing better horses throughout his career. Had a trip of death run against Optional 62, a trip of death against Beaten 50,000. If we glance through the field, would any of these horses be competitive at the Beaten 50,000 level? I don't really know.
Just the stablemate to the outside, maybe.
Yeah, that horse is going to get a lot of support.
But other than that,
what are they going to do? What are they going to do with the? Are they going to try to go to the front from out there with the? Could the 6 make? Could Drayden make the lead with this horse? You've got 2 trips of death in the last 3 starts. Oh, really? In a wide trip, the last start as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Last time the 5 showed a little bit of speed, but they didn't go quick. The 4, Mr. Crowley's going to go. Plus, he's stretching out a 16th again.
Yeah, I would say if you want to play a third horse today, which would actually be your first horse of the day chronologically, I'm probably going to make at 5-1 or better. I'll probably make a small win bet on the 6
Novo Soul.
But you demand a price. Like if this one drops down to say 7-2, I'm not playing it. If this one moves up to 6 or 7-1, then I might even play it at for a full unit play. But we're going to call this a B selection today. At Gulfstream.
Okay. Noble Soul.
Are you watching live now, or are you just recording this for later?
No, we're live. It's live, and we'll share it on Twitter.
Coffee with Dew.
Yeah, Coffee with Dew. We've got some people watching us. I'm
going
to show you guys real quick before we dip. We've got some family horses running today at Hawthorne.
How many you got?
We have 2 of them. So race 9 at Hawthorne is A Other Than. And we have Hard to Fathom. You remember Hard to Fathom?
I do. Oh, did you know that Arrest is racing Niles Channel next week?
Really? Where at?
Canterbury.
Wow. A horse that you used to own and a horse
Mhm.
that my dad used to own.
Mm-hmm.
Facing off. And they're both in good form.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Hard to fathom, Justin. Remember I remember you were on with me on a Saturday with Rich, and this horse went off at 70-1 at Oaklawn. We had it in for a waiver claim at 30. And I didn't pick it that day. My brother Marco did. Because we do the Oaklawn show, Oaklawn Capping Hour.
Uh-huh.
I faded this horse. I didn't think it was a dirt horse. I wanted to get it on turf. And it just popped my eyeballs out. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? It almost won the race and had some tight quarters in there, but got an 81 buyer. Last time we ran it, if you look, from May 4th to May 19th from Arkansas to Illinois, we kind of ran him quick off the bus. The race came up. The jock agent, said, yeah, we'll win this race. Throw him in there. My brother Danny was a little bit apprehensive about running him too quick. So we were a little bit flat. We had some trouble in the stretch. But he's doing really good. I watched him gallop in the morning the other day, and he's strong right now, and he's ready to go. I would imagine him being forwardly placed on or near the lead and running a really big race today. The winner's gone. The horse that beat him came back and won and is in here again. It beat us by a neck for third, but it got claimed. It's in a new barn, and it got claimed for 13.5.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the field, you got a 3-year-old here, Coach Jimmy D for DeVito. It won a maiden special weight by 7 ounce facing winners. Merlotti, nothing to write home about there. Westland is just kind of a horse that plods and hits the board once in a while. And this one's kind of slower on numbers from Fawner. And then this Haran horse might get a little bit of play, but those are non-2 life events for 20 and 80. And then the one for 80, it really didn't do much. So we expect Hard to Fathom to run well. A 3-1 would be a good square price if you can get it. And then we have another horse running Safe Cracker Sue. This is an ugly race, so close your eyes. But we're getting turf for the first time. And we just kind of been trying to get her on turf. Last time we tried to get her on turf at 7.5. They took it off, and that goes to 6.5 at Hawthorne as a sprint. We're excited about getting her back on turf out of a hard spun mare and by Collected.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these can perk up. And I watched her work on June 4th. She moved really well. Got a 3/8 bullet in 36-1, and she just galloped out really well. So we're excited about getting her. She's feeling good since she came in Danny's barn, and we've been wanting to get her on turf. And obviously at Oaklawn we couldn't. She'll be forwardly placed, stretching out, and we're hoping that she'll just appreciate the sod. I saw a horse run yesterday in race 5 at, or maybe it was race 6 at Evangeline. Numbers worse than this on dirt, and it just popped on turf. The rest of the field, this is probably going to be one of your favorites, Church Pew. This one as well. And then the rest of the field is, not that good. So 2 family horses. Safe Crackers. I'm going down there today. Safe Cracker Suit race 4. Hard to Fathom race 9. I will be going down there.
Well, let's
Coffee with Dew, man. Just cash some tickets, huh?
Yesterday was a crazy day. I mean, we had 17-1 winner. We had an exacta at Churchill that paid probably double what it should have paid.
Oh man, that pick 3, we actually we didn't hit the pick 3. We missed it, but we had a nice win bet on that 17-1 shot. You know how you always have a feeling about a horse underneath on a ticket. You don't throw it in. I was staring at that 8 horse when your 17-1 shot popped off.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost added it like 3 times. I'm like, and it ran second.
What did that try pay?
No, it ran third because my 2 ran second at 20-1. You were 17-1 over 20-1.
You didn't have the exacta?
I didn't play the exacta either. I just played the try, and I didn't throw the 8 in who ran third, but I had the 2 at 20-1. listen, it was for a $5 try, I would have won like 8,800. I really dropped the ball on that, but I had a good win bet and whatever. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, Marco here. Good morning, guys. Well, I would have invited you, Marco, but I figured you weren't up.
Welcome to Coffee with Dew, Marco.
Coffee with Dew, buddy.
It's my new favorite show.
It's a good show. Every Sunday we'll do this, guys. If we're all up to it, most Sundays, little half-hour show like this, and we'll give out Justin's best plays. And if we got a family horse or two, we'll throw those out there. We have we're gonna have 12 soon at Hawthorne, so we have I think 8 there now.
How many does family have in training currently?
Well, in training, probably about 23 or 4, and there's another, 6 or 7 on the farm. So, and we have some 2-year-olds coming up, an Ohio bred named Buckeye Sue. A lot of these are named after my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And,
cool.
Catholic Sue just won, and then Safecracker Sue's running today. So, Polska Sue, we have a Polska Sue as well.
Polska Sue, all right. Let's go Sues, all the Sues.
About to go to church. Yeah, Marco's the vice president of the Serbian Orthodox Church down in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I think he's the vice president.
Is Marco, he's residing in Hot Springs permanently or temporarily or what?
No, he's there permanently, and he's helping. He's the foreman on a rehab job that we're doing. We should be done by the end of the month. It's a nice house that we bought, and he's going to move into that, and that's going to be my spare bedroom when I go down there. Of course, we do have the lake house if you guys want to head down to Hot Springs for the meet next year. I know it's hard all the time, but I think if we plan it now, we got to get everybody down there.
We got to do that for sure.
The whole Lone Speed group.
Agreed. All right, brother. Well, let's go cash some tickets.
Let's cash some tickets, man. And you guys, I'll share this on Twitter and tell everybody about it, and we'll see you next week.
Later, brother.
Later.